Hey guys, Banana Luck here. Welcome back to another Watch Your Realms video. This is gonna be a really short one. We just want to talk about the upcoming banners. So we already have all of it in the game. We have Eirlys, we have Sythra, and we also have the Diao banner since yesterday, in fact. And some people are saying that Eirlys banner looks a lot like Lady Exandra, so they're wondering for the longest time why is Lady Exandra on the banner. So yeah. So the point of today's video is that I wanted to talk through very briefly again how to actually go about doing PD manipulation. So I know this is something that people always cover, and I just want to do it again because in case we have new players joining us recently, and at least they're aware of how it works. Okay, so before we hop into that, let's talk about PD first. So how PD works in this game is that after 180 summons that you do with no legendary, every 5 summons after that, you will every summon after the 180 basically increases your odds of getting a legendary by 5%. And eventually when you get to 200 summons, you will get a 100% chance to hit a legendary. So I think that's pretty straightforward. Your base drop rate is at what? 0.5%. So at 181, you'll be 5.5, 10.5, so on and so forth until you reach 200 summons without a legendary. That's going to be 100.5% chance, and then you're going to hit the legendary there. So that's the PD timer. That's straightforward. The other thing that you want to know is how to count your PD. So you can see here we got really lucky today. We actually managed to hit the Nerissa. So if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I've been hunting for her, and we managed to snatch her up here with the reset summons. Okay, so in my case, I was 3 summons away from PD. So 1, 2, 3, that's how I count my PD. But let's say we ignore the Nerissa here. If Vaughn was my last legendary, that'll be 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 summons away from PD. So do that counting because the next bit is going to be very important. When it comes to PD manipulation, how to do it, you need to know where your PD is to know exactly what to do and make sure that you get what you need. So yeah, that's how to basically understand PD and how to count it. So PD manipulation only works on limited banners, which we have coming up, which is Diao-chan's banner. You can see right here on the text, she's guaranteed within 200 summons. And then we also have Eirlys and Eirlys in the summoning banner. So how does all of this work? Let me pull out my infographic. There we go. So you can see right at the bottom, I have a couple of text boxes. So first of all, PD manipulation exists because Diao-chan is guaranteed at 200 summons, unless you get her earlier in your summoning session. So that's something that you need to understand first, because no matter how many legendaries that you pull, before that, you're always going to get Diao-chan at 200 summons if you didn't get her before that in the 200 before. And bear in mind, the 200 summons here refers to 200 summons on Diao-chan's banner on Thursday. It doesn't matter if you've done summons last week or if you've done summons now. The 200 summons only count on the banner itself. And we talked about PD timer already, so soft PD kicks in at 180 and then you get a 5% increase. Alright, another thing to take note. You can also pop your PD before the 200 summons. You can get something else other than Diao-chan. You could get a random legendary. And if let's say you get Diao-chan before you hit the 200 summons, you would not get another Diao-chan in the next 200 summons. You will not get her at the 200 summons. Because once you summon the first copy of her, that guaranteed at 200 basically goes away. So that's something very important to take note of. And with all this general things out of the way, let's talk about the 2 scenarios. So imagine you're fresh out of PD, 0 into PD. That's the first line there. What you should do is basically do 180 summons on Diao-chan's banner. That will bring you to soft PD territory. Then you swap over to the Eirlys and Eirlys banner, which only starts on Friday. So it means that you need to wait 1 more day to do your summons. If let's say you want to PD manipulate. So you wait for 1 more day, you switch over to the Eirlys Eirlys banner, and you do 20 summons there, it's going to pop your default PD. And then you go back to the Diao banner, you summon 20 more times. That's going to bring you to a total of 200 summons on the Diao banner to guarantee her. And then you also did 20 summons on the Eirlys Eirlys banner, a separate banner, to get another legendary. It could be Eirlys, it could be Eirlys, or it could be none of them, but at least you get the extra legendary. So that will mean with a total of 220 summons, you will have obtained 2 legendaries. That's why you PD manipulate, because you want to make the most out of this. And then we have the other scenario. This is a bit more complex. You're 116 into PD, you're very close. So all you have to do is do 20 summons on the Diao banner. If you don't hit any legendaries there, you pop over to Eirlys and Eirlys banner like before. Summon 20 there, that's going to pop your default PD. Hopefully you get Eirlys or Eirlys. And then you move on back to the Diao banner. You summon 179 times on there. That's going to bring you to the Diao banner limit, because you can only summon 200 times on there before you hit the PD. So with 199 summons on, the next summon will mean that you get Diao, but you don't want that because you're so close to PD. So you switch over to the Eirlys Eirlys banner, summon 21 more times, get another legendary, and then you pop back to the Diao banner, summon 1 time, and with a total of 241 summons, you will have gotten 3 legendaries, and hopefully the other 2 were Eirlys or Eirlys along the way, hopefully the former. So that's basically how you PD manipulate. Remember, all of this only works if you don't get Diao earlier. And if let's say you get a lot of like different legendaries along the way before you hit the 200, then of course it might not be worth it to PD manipulate, because you might be far from PD. Then just go ahead to summon all 200 on the Diao banner. But in any case, if you're still unsure, let me know down in the comment section below. More than happy to help out. And if you want to know more about Eirlys as a hero, I do have a video on that that was posted yesterday, where I tested on her on test server. So if you want to know more details about the hero, hop on to that. There's also Sythra that's coming out this weekend, which we cannot see at the moment, but you can actually see her in game already. If you want to know more about her, I also have a test server video on her that's up already. You can see how she decimates both single target and AoE arena. But yeah, that's basically it for the video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful in understanding what PD manipulation is all about. And if you have any questions, as usual, leave it down in the comment section below. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.